such a slow Rose. You have to get a whooping. A lot of people don't know what blunt it is. Like, people don't understand the function and the goals. And I never really just explained it or laid it out to many people. And mainly because I don't expect many people to either understand the scope or believe in the process. I feel like I'm just gonna sit down, smoke a blunt with y'all, and just tell the story, like what it is we do, why I do it, and kind of how I do it. I mean, like, why I have a van. And a big part of why I wanted to start doing van life videos, and it's like, I'm not even like, if you check my Instagram, you might not find a selfie. Like, the information and the lessons we learning, like, somebody else maybe would skip those steps just from me making myself a little vulnerable. But I think it'd be easier to follow along and
understand
our plight if you know what it is we do and why we do it. So Blunted. First off, where did Blunted come from? Blunted is my production company. I was DJing for years, built a catalog of venues and spots, and one day I decided that I don't want to service out my talents anymore as like a service DJ or a club DJ. I started to wanted to lean more towards the artist aspect of it, producing my own events, creating my own events. And I was already doing it, but I kind of wanted to brand it and stand on it more so than my DJing. We throw, host, curate, market, and promote events of all types for all different types of venues. I wanted to scale, so I decided to start exploring how I could do what I was doing locally, nationally. AE, why I fell into van life. My girlfriend Nevin, she was big into tiny home living and sustainable living, and I like the idea of it as well. I've always been a minimalist in general, but I don't like to do things that don't line like up with my overall goals too much. I don't want to be living in a tiny home on the mountain when I'm trying to be a DJ. They don't make sense to me. Like, how do I make that work? Or how do I get power? I got a whole studio. Like, what? And so it was just questions I couldn't answer. And so as she continued to enlighten me, and we continued to do research and YouTube and watch different ways to live cheaper, because even though I felt like the events were consistent, we were making money, it was flowing, being like primarily an entrepreneur, my profits were paying my bills, so I never was able to just.
And we like to live close to our venues, so that'd be close to downtown.
Yeah,
Austin, expensive.
So where Blunt come from? I was DJ Reggie Blunts. My name's Reginald. All my homies call me Blunts because I used to roll all the blunts, and so my DJ name was just Reggie Blunts. And it was funny at first because like nobody smokes Reggie, but it is what it is. But it was catchy and it worked. People loved it, and I decided to start making merch, DJ merch, and I just started putting blunts on my shirts, and people loved it. And I walked into a head shop in Texas one day, and the dude was just like in love with the shirt that just said Blunts, and I was like, oh, I'm a DJ, it's my name. And so I got with a good friend of mine, and she sat me down, and she's really good with branding and marketing and really giving me direction, because at this point I'm just throwing parties, raves, hip-hop parties. I'm DJing at strip clubs. I got random residencies. I'm making house music. I'm making beats. I'm all over the place, and she just helped me hone it all in to Blunt it and what I can do with Blunt it, and then it helped me go out and identify the help I need and the people I need to be around. And Nevin was just like, I want a van. Like, that's what I want. I don't want an engagement ring. I want a van. I want a van. And we need to live in a van because of our business. We can't save any money or do any better.
And this was back in like 2017, y'all. I was telling him we need a van. We need a van.
No, it was about 18. It was about 18.
No, it was 17.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But
you were just not sold on it. You were
and it wasn't that I wasn't sold on the van life. I just didn't see how it would be conducive to my ultimate life goal.
And we both understood, like, yeah, we do need a lot of plugs.
I kept saying, my argument to her whenever we would talk about it. Because
I was looking at conversion vans, like, straight up, like.
I kept saying to her, Nevin, when we get a van, where the fuck we about to go? That's what I would just ask her, like, where we going? Like, what are you trying? I get it, but like, we don't got nowhere to go. Like,
And I'm like, that's the whole point.
And so then when I finally started to understand and see how people were living in vans, and my biggest beef with the van lifers is like, none of these people are, I don't want to say what they are or they aren't, I don't know them, but purposeful in their van life. Like, some people have careers that they're comfortable with, and they just want to try something different, and I'm not mad at that, but it's not a contingency on van life. It's a choice. It's something they're experiencing, or they think it's not,
or it's like so economically feasible
that they have to give it a try. But the perspective that I'm coming from, and why I just felt like I had to do this, start recording this van life and expose it, is because we need this. If it wasn't for this living option, I don't know if I'll ever be able to take what I'm trying to do to the next level. Nevin's idea ended up being the solution to our scalability. With the van, I started to see that I could travel way more efficiently. I can engulf myself in communities and engage with potential consumers on the grassroots level, naturally and organically. I can pull up, I have merchandise, music, I can go to the basketball court, play for the whoever playing, we can make hot dogs, and these are the type of things we were doing at our events to create that culture that we cultivated back in Austin. Just to kind of recap, I'm DJ Reggie Blunts. I was DJing for years. Started to lean towards more curating my own events and throwing my own events, picking my own talent and concepts, and that's where Blunted came from. That's that production group, and I've premised my merchandise off, I guess, both me as a person, as an artist, Reggie Blunts, and my company Blunted. Smoke blunts, not people, was my DJ slogan. And we live our company, so I guess we have an advantage. Like, most people go to work, then they get off. I'm never off. I'm always wearing my merchandise. I'm always going or coming from something premised on what I got to do for this at all times. If I don't, I'll probably be in still trying to figure out where I could go and do that to some degree. So that's an advantage that we have.
And sometimes a disadvantage.
Yeah. So now the goal is to do what we did locally, nationally. Now, we save our money, we got our RV/van, we got Uncle Joe. Now, we just came back from California doing our first test run and just going out there and just testing the market to see on the ground floor the response to our brand on face value and us as individuals.
And some of y'all might be like, what the, like, we're 2020, like, you need to be online. And the thing is, like, if y'all, as we record more, that's our goal, stay on us about it, you can get to know, like, this man, like, his birthday is 11/11, like luck.
What does that mean?
Like, you not to say luck, but like anointed. I don't know. It's scary sometimes. Like, you always meet the right. Like, this van. This is like, what the fuck?
What we set out for ourselves to get for the van.
Like how people be like, yeah, we went on Craigslist and found this van for $1,500, and you're like, bullshit. Like, we didn't go on Craigslist for this van. This was like the first. Like,
I should write a book, and I should start
apartment that Reggie stayed in.
I should tell more stories.
He showed me this van and was like, I'm gonna get this van before you.
I'm gonna start smoking blunts and telling stories. I'm gonna try to commit to that, because I can just tell you a story every day. Because I this blunting shit for me, it's not like, it's a job. Like I said, I live it. So it's like, if you're a cop, you never really off duty. Like, it happened. So the goal is to use our van, go from city to city, date to date, working our way all the way up the West Coast, all the way to Washington.
Like, we've discussed a lot. Everybody always be like, what the heck do y'all have up y'all sleeves? Because we're always like...
But what we're going to continue to do is continue to throw events of diverse varieties, curate those with influences of all types and dimensions, and providing our service musically, as well as hopefully making as many connections of all types as possible.
You do want to sneak over to Vancouver?
I don't know about that.
They got smoking lounges there.
They may not let me back in.
Hey, my mama said, fuck it, nigga, hit the streets and live.